Greetings, Captains! I am Yuzrael, and today I'm going to be looking at the currently running Day of Honour and First Contact Day events. A bit of preliminary business first, however. I've not done any Tribble time warps on the new systems because I can't get onto Tribble. Some weird interaction between my graphics card and the Tribble client keeps crashing me out with a DirectX error. Holodeck's fine though, so A, go figure, and B, sorry, you aren't getting rid of me that easily. On to business. Let's start with First Contact Day. This is the 5th of April, although the festivities are running until the 11th, so you've got a few days left if you haven't already done this. It's a nod to the events of, what else? First Contact, specifically the Vulcan landing at Bozeman, Montana on April the 5th, 2063. The movie version, by the way, not the Enterprise version with the shotgun. Last year it also, roughly, coincided with the introduction of the Enterprise F and the events of Boldly They Rode, and it's worth noting that Captain Sean's dialogue does change depending on whether or not your character has done Boldly They Rode. Unfortunately, this year it also roughly coincides with the introduction of the Enterprise F and the events of Boldly They Rode. That's right. As far as I can tell, Cryptic haven't updated the mission. At all. This is, well, it's not heinous, but I'm left with a sense that they've missed an opportunity here to do a yearly pause, recap and update mission for STO's story via a relatively simple series of dialogue edits. So last year had the crew reflecting on the events of the 2800 and their new ship. This year could have had them remarking on the apparent end of the Borg threat, courtesy of Into the Hive, their tour of the Tau Dewa block, and wondering how Datran's people would affect sector politics, setting up hooks for the Legacy of Romulus expansion along the way, and noting how the F and her crew were settling into being, well, the Enterprise. Next year, who knows, probably Iconians, Tholians, and more Romulans. That said, the mission itself is solid from a technical standpoint, and it's a good opportunity to catch the Phoenix Pet if you missed it last year for whatever reason. Alright, it's the only way to get the Phoenix Pet, but you know what I mean. Over on the Warriors' side, there are no celebrations of the Black Day that the human and Vulcan Patak-Pu first officially met. Dark rumours continue that the Vulcans had been puppeteering human development for years beforehand. Instead, we have the Day of Honour, which by a curious coincidence runs on the exact same dates. No doubt the Federation is attempting to imitate its betters. Unlike First Contact Day, this is actually New Contact, and it shows, with the kind of references to Tau Dewa and recent plot developments that I was disappointed not to see in the Starfleet content. The mission concept is basically identical to First Contact Day, and I can imagine it serving a similar purpose in future years as a plot roundup mission for each year, if Cryptic update the writing. If I have a criticism to level, it is that the officers of the Bortas Ku are apparently so fearsome that the mere law of gravity has no hold over them and they can levitate above their seats. That, or the seat and skeleton meshes, need some work on how they're interacting. Unlike the Phoenix Pet, the reward for this is the Tritanium Rending Bat'leth. It's a decent level scaling Bat'leth, although I have to note that it's outclassed by the Shard Sword of Kahless and probably other melee weapons as well. It's not a power gamer's weapon, but then these aren't really power gaming missions. On the other hand, it's free, and if you want a melee-oriented bridge officer just to experiment with, it's not a bad choice. Plus it comes with a unique and rather interesting model. Not so good for stabbing, but very, very slashy. Not like that, fanfiction authors, get your minds out of the gutter. And that's pretty much it. If you want to talk to the crew of the Bortas Ku about the meaning of honour, or swap year-old stories with the Enterprise F's officers, then these missions are accessible through the journal, and the transwarp, for once, is free. I am Yusrol. That has been a quick look at the First Contact Day and the Day of Honor missions, and until next time, may your blood wine be warm, the plomeek soup spiced, and the gach wriggling. Farewell.